Hey everyone, I'm Josh Galvin, this is Bob Gibbs, and this is episode 2 of The Truth in the News. And on this episode, we're going to tackle one simple but massively important question. Should I sell now, or should I wait a few months later or a year later, whatever the case is? And this question is an important question now in light of two important things. Number one, the fact that there's good economic news that's been coming out. And number two is, right now we're in spring, but usually come summertime, that's when more buyers come out. So in light of those two things that are generally good indicators of, quote unquote, waiting, we want to see, what's the truth in the news? Is it better to wait or to sell now? So
yeah, that's a great question, Josh. And what we're running into is a lot of questions from some of the agents in our office regarding the best time to sell. And so they're getting questions from people that they're talking to about selling, about the market. And so
you mean sellers, sellers that are working with agents right now? Or
right. They tend to come to us and ask us, what's going on. They know we're really on top of things.
Oh, okay, so, I see. That makes sense.
So they get advice from us. So.
Okay, perfect.
And what we find is that the market right now is actually really strong, and it's really as a result of the lack of inventory and the low number of inventory. So people are looking at the economic data, which looks really favorable, and say, well, gosh, if it looks this good and prices are starting to go up in certain areas, why won't I just wait? Why not put it on? And the reason for not waiting is basically something like this. This is just a small number of the notice of defaults that have been issued recently, just in a small area of Danville.
Wait, so what exactly is a notice of default?
A notice of default basically it's the first step in the foreclosure process. So when a person is in arrears or behind on their payments, after 3 months, the banks will issue a notice of default, which basically formal notice that they're starting the foreclosure process.
So in a nutshell, if I'm a homeowner and I receive a notice of default, that basically means that my home's going to foreclosure.
It's going down that path.
It's already in process.
Right. There's ways you can remedy it, but in most cases, the people can't.
Okay.
So these are just a small number of them.
Holy cow, look at this. This is a small number. And what area is this covering? This is a lot of numbers of them, not just a small number.
That's just Danville.
Okay.
Yeah, and those are just homes priced between $500,000 and $900,000. So, what's going to happen with these is eventually something's going to happen. Either going to be short sale or they're going to be foreclosed. And they're going to hit the market. It could be 6 months or it could be a year and a half.
So then, let me rewind then to what you said about inventory. So let's just pretend if this did not exist in the market, which I think you'll cover more shortly. Right. If this did not exist in the market, and the inventory, that concept you mentioned about the inventory showing that it's being good and everything, what did you mean by that? So let's assume this was non-existent.
Let's assume there's no distressed
let's assume there was no such thing.
Then I'd say, you could probably get away with waiting a little bit because it looks like inventory is low, just a total active number of properties on the market is low, and then there's a lot of buyers out buying, which is just...
And inventory stands for basically how many homes are on for sale at any given moment. So right now, what's the inventory? Meaning, if you have a 4-bed, 3-bath home, 2,500 square feet, what are the comparable homes in your area, same price range, same kind of everything? What's the inventory?
That's right.
And that means, so a lower inventory is better in general for sellers.
That's right, because when you put your home in the market, you want as little competition as possible. Okay. So the fewer number of homes on the market, less competition means more buyers looking at your home, and the chances of multiple offers are a higher price for sure. And
now I get it. Now we have this behemoth of potential inventory hanging out. Is that what you...
That's exactly it. So
so I get it now.
When people say it's a good time, I'm going to wait because of what I'm seeing in the news. Good news. We just kind of go like this. And how long do you want to wait?
I see.
You really think it's a good time to wait?
So then, if I'm reading between the lines properly, what determines whether it's a good time to buy or sell comes down to simply inventory? I mean, is that a big factor, like in this market?
Yeah, there's two things: inventory or price.
Okay, that's it. So then, right now, this is the massive inventory that will or won't hit the market. What's the likelihood of this NOD foreclosure properties hitting the market?
Something is going to happen. It's either going to hit the market as a foreclosure or a short sale. So you have to ask yourself.
So it's going to hit the market regardless, though.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter how it comes to the market. The fact is,
it's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
It could be in as short as 6 months. It could be in as long as a year and a half. It depends on how quickly the bank wants to act on things. But what you don't want to be involved in is having your home in a market and you're competing with a whole slew of either foreclosed properties or short sale properties, because
So-
that's going to bring down the value of your home.
So let's take, because this is such a, all these concepts, especially right now, all this stuff
Right.
going on, it's so hard to wrap your head around one thing, especially
Right.
when we hear this, and then a seller's going to hear tomorrow from
Right.
CNN that, oh, home prices are getting better, or whatever
Right.
the case is. They'll hear
And
all this
that's-
mixed message.
That's the absolute truth. But
It
you
is.
have to look at the reasons why.
Okay, so why are home prices getting better?
Because the inventory is low. These things are not on the market.
Okay, see that right there.
Yeah.
Now that makes perfect sense.
So yeah, and so a lot of people who don't need to sell because of the downturn in prices over the last
Mm-hmm.
couple of years, they're just not selling.
Okay, I see. So then, so if more inventory hits the market, that's going to directly affect the value of homes.
That's correct.
Meaning more, because there's not more buyers to go with the inventory, is there? Is there any
There's
data
a pretty
like that?
static amount of buyers. There's a lot of buyers out there, and that doesn't typically increase too much. I mean, so on average, it's pretty flat.
Mm-hmm. It's like seasonal also
Right.
and stuff.
Right. So the other thing too coming up is we're getting into that summer season where people start putting their homes on the market anyway.
Yeah.
So you have those plus these,
Yeah, I see. So it's
and
like
then it just kind of escalates the amount of inventory.
so then okay, so I'm gonna break it down to very elementary logic
Right.
for me to digest right now. So if I'm a seller and there's 5 homes in my area competing against me,
Right.
I have a better chance to sell today or in the months ahead when I'm potentially against 10 homes in the same area against me.
Absolutely.
Better now,
Now.
because there's less inventory.
That's right.
Okay, so then I guess then the simple question, if we're gonna rehash it one more time,
Right. Right.
is it a good time to sell now or should you wait? What would you suggest for people here in the East Bay?
Yeah, if it were my house or
Mhm.
my children's house, I'd say let's put it on tomorrow.
Okay, and
I
the
would
main
not wait.
reason
The main
is
reason
simply
is that
because
these things are going to be hitting. It's just a matter of when.
there's no other way to put that. You can't hide around inventory, right?
No.
All right, so that's pretty much everything. Unless you want to add anything more?
No, if you're if you want to talk to someone who's an expert on what's going on in the market, feel free to go to the website at realestatemarketwatch.com and go to the contact button, and we can answer any questions you have there.
Cool. Well, hopefully that's everything. Well, good luck and take care.
Bye.